welcome back! We're gonna have lots of fun today because it's Rapunzel time! Yes! Let's get started! So let's get started on Rapunzel. Color correct if need be. Thankfully my skin's behaving itself at the moment, so we'll skip that for now. First we're going to use the NYX Color Correcting in Green Primer. Next, we're going to use Urban Decay's Primer Potion for the eyeshadow. This is critical for Rapunzel's bright colors that we're going to use today. Now we're going to use this product by Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. The foundation we're going to use today is by Collab in the color Porcelain. And what I like to do is I like to combine it with my foundation using my damp beauty blender as I apply. Be sure to blend like crazy, getting all those crevices and wrinkles. Into the hairline, no worries, your wig will cover it. And don't forget to put some on your eyelids. This will further help create a nice base for the colors. Down past the jawline. Next we're going to contour. I'm going to use my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette and a soft brush. And I'm going to focus the contour just underneath the cheekbones. We're also going to focus some contour on the forehead to make it look a little bit smaller because I have a high hairline. And we're also going to put some underneath the jaw. And depending on your nose shape, you might have to do a little bit of contouring for the nose. I'm making mine look just a little bit slimmer and a little bit smaller. Be sure to blend. Next we're going to use blush. I'm using my Wet n Wild Color Con blush in the color Pearlescent Pink and of course a blush brush, focusing the color on the apples of the cheek and dragging out towards the hairline. I'm going to use my blender brush to blend and make sure that there's no harsh lines and to have a more gradual transition. Now we're going to highlight. I'm going to use my Huda palette and a soft fluffy brush, and I'm going to focus it on the tops of the cheekbones and a little bit up into the temple. I do this with almost every one of my characters just because I don't have the widest cheekbones, so definitely work with your facial structure. Another popular brush for applying highlight is a fan brush. I do not currently have one, so this one does well enough. Another nice touch is putting a little bit of highlight around the lips. And then finally, I'm going to use a smaller brush for a more controlled application of highlight right along the top of the nose, emphasizing the thinness I'm trying to create. I like to begin Rapunzel's eyebrows by brushing off any residual powders or foundation, and to get the hairs all properly groomed and in line. Be sure that your eyebrows are groomed as well as need be. So Rapunzel has long, thin, and round eyebrows, and they're dark blonde. I'm going to start with my blonde eyebrow pencil. It's by L'Oreal Paris. I'm going to start in the outer edge of the eyebrow and work my way in. And I'm going to follow along the very top edge of my eyebrow to give it height and to create a nice round shape. I like to rest my elbow on my desk to keep my hand steady. After that, I'm going to use my L'Oreal Paris Liquid Eyebrow, also in the color Blonde, and I'm going to brush over those hairs. And then of course the other side. Her eyebrow goes from thick to thin in a nice even transition. Depending on how thick your natural eyebrows are, you may want to consider cleaning up the bottom line of the eyebrow with just a little bit of concealer and an eyebrow brush. This makes them look cleaner and thinner. And then of course be sure to blend them. Now we're going to start Rapunzel's freckles. You have two options for freckles. You can use a soft brown eyeliner pencil or this product that I've just started using and I absolutely love, and I also use for Anna as well now. It's a product called Freck and it is specifically for making false freckles. Now Rapunzel only has a small smattering of freckles focused on the nose and the tops of the cheeks. For creating realistic freckles using this product, you'll want to dip the product, brush into the liquid, and brush a little bit off so it doesn't drip, and then you'll dab it onto the face. Once you've made a few freckles, go back through and pat the freckles with your finger to help them dry and make sure that they don't come out too dark or too bold. For natural placement of freckles, I like to use my peripheral vision. That way I don't put them too perfectly spaced. Perfectly natural is imperfections. Once I've placed the majority of my freckles, I will go back through and make sure there's no large spaces that are empty. And once the product has dried, you should have very nice natural looking freckles. After freckles, I will use a finishing powder and a fluffy brush and apply to the whole face. This sets everything that we've done to the skin so far. The finishing powder I'm using today is by NYX. It's a mineral-based HD finishing powder, and it's in the color Translucent. So to begin Rapunzel's eyeshadow, we're going to start with my Juvia's palette, The Masquerade, and we're going to use this bright pink. I'm going to use a nice eyeshadow brush that's soft and not too big. I'm going to focus the pink on the main part of the lid, going slightly into the crease. Rapunzel has very large eyes, so we're going to try and make the eye look as big as possible. We can accomplish that by making the crease as high as possible. So be sure to carry that main lid color up. Oh, and I almost forgot to put in my contacts. It's best if you put them in before you have any makeup on, but if you're like me and you forgot, it's not such a big deal if you're able to do it before eyeliner. Now we're going to use our Zulu palette by Juvia's, and we're going to use this nice purple color. And this is going to be our crease color, so using an angled crease brush, we're going to start in the outer corner of the eye, and we're going to focus that crease color as high up as we can. You want to make sure that you have a nice smooth appearance of the shadow and that it's evenly distributed. This is one of the reasons why I love Juvia's eyeshadows. They're not only very brightly pigmented, but they go on very, very smooth. It's also a good idea to use a blender brush and blend out your colors. And if they end up looking a little too light in the end, you can always touch them up a little bit. Next, we're going to use a darker purple. I'm going to use this one from my NYX palette and a smaller brush. And I'm going to focus that dark purple just above my natural crease, making the eyes look as big as possible. I'm also going to put some on the outer corner of the eye. This helps make them look round. This is the part where it's especially important to make sure that your main lid color goes high enough up into the crease. As you can see, I'm going to touch mine up a little bit. Finally, we're going to use my small Rimmel palette for the white. And I'm going to use the same controlled highlight brush that I used earlier. And I'm going to put it just underneath the eyebrow at the top of the lid. I'm going to move the color into the corner of the eye. I'm going to brush that highlight towards the middle. This ensures that the eye doesn't appear too dark. It's important to make sure that you blend between your highlight and your crease transition color. Now we're going to use a small, thin brush, eyeshadow brush. And we're going to use that same pink on the inner parts of the eye underneath the lash. And then we're going to use our main purple for the outer edge of the lower lash. What you can also do if you have a little extra time is you can take any light pearlescent pink and go over the main lid just to brighten and lighten everything up. This may seem like a lot of steps, but with practice you'll get faster and better at it. Next, for Rapunzel's eyeliner, I don't like to use my usual black eyeliner because we want her eyes to look big and round. So this time I'm going to use a powder, and this powder is by Naked Cosmetics. It's in the color Sierra Nevada SN04. And what I do is I take a small eyeliner brush. I make sure that it's damp. In this case, I like to spritz it. I'm currently spritzing it with Pixie Glow Mist. And then I will dip it into the powder and brush it into the lash line on top, smudging it into the roots of the lash. What I also like to do is take that same dark purple I used earlier, and using my eyeliner brush, I like to smudge that over the line I just created. This purple eggplant almost color really brings out the green in Rapunzel's eyes. This gives the lash line definition without being too dark, but still providing enough of a transition for your falsies. If any eyeshadow has fallen onto my cheeks, I'll take a large brush and then just brush them off. For under the top lash line, I will use my usual liquid black eyeliner by L'Oreal. This further helps hide the transition between your natural lash and the falsies without making the eye look too dark. I'm being careful not to get the eyeliner too close to my actual eye, and I'm actually focusing it on the roots of the lashes from the underside. This particular eyeliner is super important because this formula is thick enough that you can put it underneath the lash line and it won't leak onto the eye. Next, we're going to use mascara. Today I'm using liquid lash extensions in the color Black by Thrive Cosmetics. For applying mascara, it helps to tilt the chin up while looking down. Place the applicator close to the root of the eyelash and then turn. And for the rest of the lash, swiping the applicator back and forth helps coat the lashes. If you experience clumping, try having less product on the applicator. You can always put a second coat on. This particular applicator is great because it has very short bristles and it makes for very easy control when applying to the bottom lashes. While our mascara is drying, we'll move on to lips. We want a nude-friendly color. Today I'm using my Rimmel London Rose Quartz lip liner. Rapunzel has an adorable pout, so I'm going to do my best to outline the lip in such a way that I emphasize the bottom middle portion of the lip without going too overboard. Now for lip color, we're going to use this one by Collab Liquid Lip Matte. It's in the color I'm Nude Here. That's N-U-D-E. And I'm going to try not to dip my elbow in my makeup. Once your lipstick has dried, which doesn't take very long, I like to use a nude lip gloss to further emphasize that adorable pout. Now that our mascara should be dry, if you so choose, you can curl your lashes, which I will be doing today. I like to do this to make my eyes look as big as possible. Next, apply falsies. I'm using magnetic ones by Ardell. I have trimmed the outermost magnet section off so that way they better fit my eye. and I place them closer to the outer edge of the lash. You can use the applicator that comes with the magnetic lashes, or you can lay the top lash on first, press it in with your fingers, and then apply the lower lash. Now that our falsies are on, there's one last thing I forgot to show you, and that's my white eyeliner. And you'll just place that along the bottom waterline. And there you have it, Rapunzel is done! So I hope you enjoyed this new version of my makeup tutorials with the voiceovers. Hopefully that saved a little bit more of your time. And of course, as usual, likes, comments, and subscribes all mean the world to a small-time gal like myself. And if there's another character you'd like to see, please comment below and I will get to it as quickly as possible. Until next time, bye!